Welcome to Declutter for Change, the podcast where we clear the visible and invisible clutter from your mind, body, soul, and home to make room for the life you actually want to live and love. I'm your host, Heather Clark, and in this episode, I'm joined by the content creator and podcaster, famous Ashley Grant, to discuss her massive cross-country move from Florida to Kentucky and how breaking free from 15 years of emotional support clutter forced her to build simple digital systems that completely clear your space and mind. Ashley is a content creator based in Richmond, Kentucky. In addition to ghostwriting for several small businesses and freelance writing under her own name, she hosts the Bloggy Friend Show and More Movement Please Fitness podcast and runs famousashleygrant.com blog. This conversation marks the launch of a brand new series here on the podcast. Alongside our usual expert interviews, I am now sitting down with the real people who have lived through a massive total life declutter across their mind, body, soul, or home. We are diving deep into the messy realities, the unexpected breakdowns, and the ultimate victories of the actual journey to show you that you are not alone in your struggles. If you've navigated a major life purge, fought through the decision fatigue, and want to help inspire the community with your own ups and downs, I would love to chat with you. Email me directly at podcast@declutterforchange.com to apply for a guest spot. Hello, Ashley. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic and so excited to be here. How are you?
I'm fantastic. All right, listeners. So Ashley and I go way back. Like I'm talking like what, 2016, 17, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
So
wow.
well, I know, like over 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's crazy just when you had approached me, because I obviously put a post saying like, hey, I'd like to have more guests and stuff like that. And your topic has just sparked a whole new series, listeners, of those who have themselves gone through a decluttering moment or moments, or whether they've had seniors, parents and stuff like that, they've had to help them declutter. There's so many different ways that we've had to declutter. But Ashley today is going to tell us about her big move that she had and all of the things that she had to do. And I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, it is all to do with the mind, the body, the soul, and the home. So Ashley, please let the listeners know, first of all, who you are and tell us your story of like why you wanted to tell this story and why you wanted to move, first of all, and then let us know.
Okay. Well, I mean, the problem is I'm a podcaster myself, so I get long-winded. So if at any point that I start saying too much, just tell me shut up, because I could just go. Reader's Digest version about me is on the interwebs. I'm known as Famous Ashley Grant. And that's a long story that ends with I'm a writer, I'm a content creator, and there was another girl named Ashley Grant. And so the joke became I'm the famous one, even though, whatever. Someone dubbed me that. I did not name myself. But yeah, during the pandemic is when we made this crazy decision to move from Tampa, Florida to Richmond, Kentucky. And we were up here in Kentucky in January 2020 because my grandmother had just passed. And while we were here, it had been on our radar for a long time that Kentucky existed, obviously, because my whole family lives here.
Yep.
But we had never talked about actually living here because, it was just like our entire lives were all in Florida. Like everything was in Florida except for like the extended family. And something about that 2 weeks, just like being around family, it was like, I think we're supposed to make a change. And we felt like we had to make a change. And the whole way home, like the entire drive home, we kept talking about what would it be like if we moved from Florida to Kentucky. And it's like, wait a minute, we've had 30 plus years of collecting crap and collecting stuff. And how are we going to uproot our lives and move 800 miles away? And so just making the decision that we were even thinking about it was like, oh my goodness, we got a lot to go through if we're really going to do this. And then I remember it was Super Bowl weekend and we just told casually to my father-in-law that we were thinking about moving. And he goes, finally. And we're like, what do you mean finally? And he's like, I've been waiting on you guys to do something so that I could move. And he had his house up for sale within a month. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And then my mom tells me she's moving. And we're like, okay, so all of our nuclear family is leaving. We might as well just actually do this damn thing. And so that's when we started looking, and we came up in Thanksgiving of 2020 and made the firm decision we were in fact moving. And then that meant we had about a month to get like every single thing uprooted in our lives and get going. And
a month is not a long time for something like that. Like you're not moving down the street.
Well, like, and the funny thing was when we made the decision, we thought we had till like April because that was when our lease was going to end. And so we got on the waiting list and we're like, listen, our lease ends in April. You know, we'll come back and live here then. And we got a call from the apartment complex about a month, no, not even a month, about a week after we got back from Thanksgiving. And they're like, hey, the apartment's actually going to be ready January 4th. And we're like, and so that began the insanity. And so it was like, you know, keep in mind, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Things have not gotten back to normal yet. And so, yeah, we decided like crazy people to uproot our lives in the middle of that and moved in January 4th, 2021, right in the middle of winter. So Florida people moving into winter.
Obviously the best time to go because I also have had that. Also, I will say, listeners, I don't suggest being 9 months pregnant and then moving because that's what I did in the winter of the worst storm ever. That
not
day.
Recommended.
Not recommended at all.
Yeah.
But so when you guys, okay, so we know how crazy moving is, but to have to move, first of all, if you are Jewish or Christian or anything like that and celebrated Christmas or Hanukkah or anything, you're also trying to celebrate that while packing, while doing this, while doing whatever. What did you at all like was it just like a go, go, go?
It was definitely a go, go, go. The second that we realized, wait a minute, this is actually happening, it was like, okay, everything stopped and it was just all systems go to purge the place, like purge of all of our crap. And of course, in the middle of it, I had to drive my mom to Kentucky because her move became official as well. So driving my mom to Kentucky while also trying to pack up my whole life was an interesting experience that I do not recommend.
So first of all, what was going through your mind to like, okay, I know like the go, go, go. I've been that. You do that often as well. Like it's the go, go, go. And you don't even have enough time to think half the time. But what was going through your mind as you're like, oh my God, this is happening. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like so many things all at once were happening to you and your family.
Yeah.
So like, what were some of the thoughts and feelings and all that stuff that were happening?
I think the biggest thing that kept going through my mind is how the heck are we going to get all this crap up there? How the heck are we going to get it all in the moving truck? And honestly, the biggest question was, what am I willing to finally part with that I have been having as my emotional support clutter for so long?
Was there specific things that you noticed that was the support clutter?
This is going to sound so silly, but some of it was as simple as junk mail, like stuff that I had in a pile where it was, I'll get to that someday, or clothes that I knew didn't fit, but I'll get back into those someday, or a stack of medical records that I've been meaning to scan for 10 years was in there. Like just all this crap that you don't realize is stacking up and taking not just your physical space, but taking up the mental bandwidth and the emotional bandwidth that you didn't anticipate was bogging you down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just, and the funny thing is calling it emotional support clutter is humorous to me because it was negative emotions. Like looking back now, I see just how depressing all this clutter was. And it's been weird, like trying to remember, oh wait, I don't have that anymore. Cause like there'll be moments even now, like, I mean, cause this has been what, 6 years now. To carry the math, Lord have mercy. I'm a writer, not a mathematician. So don't make fun of me. So yeah, we've been up here 5 years and, there are still moments where I'm like, oh, where is that? Oh yeah, we got rid of it. You know, like that still happens 5 years later.
Now, have you found that like is it major stuff that you're, because that's one of the biggest things that people don't want to let go of things because they're like, oh, well, one day I might use it.
Yeah.
And it's like, did you find that when you're like, oh, right, we got rid of that, that it was like such a big deal? Or was it kind of like, oh, yeah, we got rid of that. Like, okay, I can just either get another one or I guess I really didn't need it.
For the most part, it's been I guess I didn't really need it. There's only been a couple things where I was like, damn, I wish I still had that. Like there was a shirt, a stupid shirt. And it just said something funny on it. I think it was like, oh yeah, it was from whenever I was a photographer. I was a photographer back in another life. And I had this stupid shirt that said, and that's when I snapped. And it had a picture of a camera on it. And it was just a nod to like, photographers be snapping all the time. But I wanted to wear it to something because I was going to take some pictures. And I was like, oh, wait, we got rid of that. Or something else. God, I can't even remember some of the stuff, but it was just like craft supplies that I had given away or just little knickknacks that I just forgot didn't exist anymore.
But that's the thing. Like we don't realize when we live in a house for however long, so I don't know how long you were in Florida in that particular space for before you moved.
You're going to ask me to math again. Oh God, I'd been married 15 years at that point. So yeah, it was 15 years of married life in that I had to take care of in addition to all the stuff prior to that. So yeah.
So like when we get like, let's just even say like even just a couple of years go by, there's stuff in the house that you're like, oh, right, I have that. Wait, why do I have that? But you walk by it every day or you open a cupboard and it's, in the corner, but you're getting something else or whatever. So it's things like that. But yeah, 15 years of, accumulation and stuff like that brings in a lot of energy, whether it, like you were saying, it's the negative, it's the positive, it's whatever. But all of a sudden, when you have something happen, like a move, everything gets put right in your face and you have to make decisions. Did you find that you, by the end, were like so overwhelmed or so like just done? Like decision fatigue was at its max.
It definitely was. Like there were some significant mental breakdowns during the process. And I know that when we first moved up here, that's part of why we got so sick. I mean, yeah, we could blame the cold, but let's be honest, it was the holy crap, we're now here and we can breathe, but can we?
Yeah.
It was like reassessing, making sure that we had everything. And I'll be honest with you, there are still 2 boxes we have not unpacked and it's been 5 years. And I know what's in them and I know what has to be done with them, but like, it's weird that I know what's in them because I didn't know where a lot of stuff was in our apartment back then. I didn't know what all we had. And knowing pretty much where everything is now is so weird to me, especially as an ADHD girl who's very good at losing stuff. Like, and I still, and it makes things so awful whenever I don't have it go right back where it's supposed to go now more than ever, because it's like, wait, did I leave that in Florida too? No, I'm just an idiot and it's in the washing machine. Like,
but that's the thing. So this is why it's so important. Like when you do have a space and when you do whatever, and I'm trying to teach my kids this as well, which is very entertaining to try and do, but wherever you got it from, put it back. Because if it's not there, we're going to be looking for another 20 to 30 minutes of where the heck did I put it? Because I remember there's one incident that I could not find. Like, I'm talking like I don't carry a purse. I carry my wallet. And at the end of the wallet are my keys. And there was one day where my daughter and I don't remember what we were doing or whatever, but we had to go. And I'm like, I can't find my wallet. I can't find my keys. What do you mean I can't? And my daughter looked at me, she goes, what do you mean you can't find them? Because again, my kids even know if they need to go to my wallet for like, cash or money or whatever, et cetera, or need to get the keys, my son, because he wants to switch cars or vehicles, whatever. And that day, like even I was like, no, but where is it? So I looked at the typical places I could have put it down. You want to know where I freaking put it down? I must have crouched down to go pick something up from underneath the table or something like that, put my wallet on the bench that we have so it got covered by the tablecloth that we have, and it took me forever to find it. So listeners, this is why I say make a spot for it, and it's okay if it does change, but get into the habit of putting it in the same spot, because like you were saying, your ADHD or whatever, especially the listeners, I know there's a bunch of them that do.
Yeah.
you will not find it, or you will spend that extra time and energy and mental capacity to go, what the heck and where did I put it?
And then once you find it and you're like, what the heck was I thinking? Because guess what it was I found in the washing machine?
Uh-oh, what?
A water spigot. For the planter to water the plants. Yeah, that's what was upside down in the washing machine.
So do you remember how that got there? Like what?
Oh, I remember exactly how it happened now that it's happened. But I was watering the plants and then I saw that I needed to go retrieve something from the laundry room. I put down the watering can and then did the thing, came back, and I was like, huh, that's weird. The laundry room light's on. So I turned off the light and I went about my day until the next day when my husband said, hey, hon, where's the watering can? And immediately I knew. Immediately. Oh, no. I was just like, I don't even know how to explain to this man where it is or why.
And how it got there and why it was still there, even though I left, but I didn't leave with it.
Yeah, that happened.
That's funny.
But, but that's not as funny as the worst one I've ever done, though. The worst one I ever did I swear I'm a writer. The worst thing I ever did is I'll never understand how this happened. I put my umbrella in the refrigerator.
So I'm guessing it's not a really long umbrella. It was just one of those.
No, it was one. Okay, it was one that can fit in my purse. But I'd like to say there was drinking involved, but I don't think there was, because that would have made a funnier story. But no, I literally just. But then again,
that's the mental clutter too. Like, and this is why I like having the physical clutter, having the emotional, all that stuff. The mental clutter, because you're probably, as you had your umbrella, you're probably like, oh, I got to put this in, but then you're like, oh, wait, I got to go get dinner or whatever. And you went to go probably put it down in the fridge, did whatever, etc., because it was in your hand. You're like, oh, this shouldn't be in my hand, but this should be in my hand.
Yes.
And you're not thinking, because you're thinking, your mind is going a million times over. You probably thought about like, oh, what you had to write or what you had to record or what you had to do this. And I'm sure the listeners, if anyone listens to this podcast at 1.5, they just heard squirrels right there. So
yeah. Tell me you haven't put your keys in the freezer or your phone in the freezer, because I know some people who've done that. So, yeah. Or my favorite is whenever you're on the phone and you're like, I got to let you go. I can't find my phone.
Those are, okay. I have seen way too many videos of like people sending a picture of the person's phone because they took it, whatever. And they're like, oh, your phone's here. And they're like, meanwhile, you just got the text in the phone from that person. And then they're like, oh my goodness. And I'm like, you know what? I understand, because there's been many a times, like I remember in high school and stuff like that, having like my gym teacher literally in her hand, having her glasses going, where are my glasses? I can't find my glasses. Okay, everyone get up and help me. And we're all sitting there like,
is this a joke?
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, we're like, you're joking, right? Like, what? And then all of a sudden, all of us are like just doing like one of the showing our hands and be like, but again, it's one of those things when the brain is constantly going as a teacher. Yeah, of course, it's constantly going. As somebody who, online business, you got a podcast, you got all that stuff. So understandable. Anyone who has lost their keys in their freezer or in the cupboard, or put milk in the cupboard and the cereal in the fridge.
Or their umbrella in the fridge. That'll, yeah.
But these are the things that happen day to day to people because of the clutter. So one of the things that I wanted to also talk about is when you did get rid of all the stuff and you managed to do all that stuff, not right after, because obviously you guys got sick, you guys, whatever, etc. But like, what was the biggest, oh my God, why didn't we do this sooner moment?
Oh man. Probably whenever we were unpacking and putting stuff into the places that they should be going, like not having as much stuff and actually being able to see the floor. I mean, it sounds like an episode of Hoarders turned, makeover style, but like being able to see the floor, being able to see the counter, being able to know where everything was. It was like, I don't know if this is going to sound silly or not, but it was like for the first time in 15 years, we were able to breathe. And it was just like,
sound silly at all. It
was
exactly what it is.
It was very shocking. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I was like relieved, because honestly, I was panicked for a long
Mhm.
time, because I kept thinking like, oh my God, I got rid of all my stuff. Like, where's my stuff? And I guess the best way I can attribute it to is like a friend of mine, she recently had a house fire and she lost a lot of stuff and it was devastating.
Yeah.
And like for her losing it without a choice, like just thinking on that, it's like, holy crap. But like me, at least I had a choice in how I let go of the stuff, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And so whenever her house burned down, it like immediately made me think about whenever I lost all my stuff. And of course, obviously then you feel like a jerk for thinking about that way. But like I couldn't help it. It was just like, oh yeah, I remember when I lost all my stuff. It's like, but no, I chose to get rid of it.
Yep. Well,
But
the thing too, like, so when my ex-husband and I, we had the matrimony home, he was still there with the kids, and it was June, actually June of 2014. A tornado hit through the town and actually hit our house. So the kids and
oh
him
wow.
went down to the basement and stuff like that. I was at work, just getting off work. I hear it on the radio. I'm calling. I'm like, what the heck? But throughout that whole process, it was, I still had my stuff there. The kids had stuff. He had a bunch of stuff. And it was just a matter of like, there was no choice. Like you said, there was no
Yeah.
choice in what went or whatever. First of all, I didn't had a lot of choice because his girlfriend at the time got rid of a lot of stuff that had mom attached to it. So
Yeah.
that was great. But it included my toys from when I was a kid that I had
Mm,
given to my kids. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
I was like, oh, that hit me. How?
Yeah.
Why? Because I was
Yeah.
like, why did that hit me? I'm like, I gave it to my kids. Like, I already let go of it. I'm like, but I didn't. I let go of it to a child of mine that was still attached to me. So I could still see the toy if I needed whatever. But it was so weird. But yeah, I like that, how you put that. It's, I got to choose to let
Yeah.
go of my stuff where she didn't. And neither one is worse or better than the other.
Yeah.
Yes, the choice, she didn't get because of the fire, and that's very devastating. And I really hope no one got hurt or anything like that. So,
No, no one did,
okay.
thank God.
And same with the tornado, like literally no one in the town got hurt or whatever. So it was one of those things. It's like, okay, now what?
Yeah. And it's weird
Choice or
how
no
you,
choice? Now
yeah,
what?
it's weird how you mourn the loss of your stuff. Because
Yeah.
like one thing that really helped me, and I guess I should have led with this, but my brain wasn't braining. Um, One thing that really helped us to finally let go of some of the stuff that was sentimental was taking pictures of it.
Hmm.
Like I had a metric shit ton of ornaments that I had collected over the years. And to be able to physically let them go, I literally sat there and I just took a picture of every single one of them. And of course, now I have digital clutter to go through because I took so many pictures.
Nowadays, yes.
Oh my God, I took so many pictures. But like somehow just the act of knowing, okay, I can still look at it eventually if I ever choose to, made me able to let it physically go. And so we did that not just with the ornaments, but we did it with like awards we had or trophies or just things that you don't ever look at on a day-to-day basis.
Yep.
And it's funny whenever you look back at it going like, holy cow, like I got all this stuff and thought it was so good at the time and so awesome at the time, but then it just sat in a drawer or it sat in a Rubbermaid container or it sat in something that I didn't open. And so now one of the big things that we have as a rule is if something really means that much to us that we want to keep it for some reason, we have to either put it on display or just take a damn picture and let it go.
But that is so huge. And especially like, I'm going to also put, if you are a parent, oh my goodness, the amount of pictures and colorings and paintings and crafts and whatever that the kids would come home with, that if you allow it, it can whatever. But that idea of taking the photo, and I'll take it one step further, you can even create a scrapbook of their stuff and like a little note or whatever, if you're creative like that. If you're not, that's fine, go hire somebody who is, because I know there's people that do that for others.
Yeah, and I even saw a TikTok. This mom that was like so sick and tired of all the arts and crafts her kid brought her. She took a picture of all of them, and then she went and bought a digital frame, and so now she sees them all day long, all of
Well,
the
there you go,
artwork.
perfect.
Yeah.
So there's another thing. So, and that's the same, like if you really are attached to certain things
Mhm.
and you want to take the picture but you don't want the stuff itself, that's a perfect idea. Like that digital frames now are so amazing and so like the storage in them is absolutely crazy. Like you can put years upon decades of photos in them. So, but was there something, I want to know this, because was there something that you were absolutely like fighting yourself? I don't want to let this go. Oh, I got to let this go. I don't want to let this go. I got to let go. Like, was there something particular that you're like, and then eventually you did let it go? Or eventually you said, screw it, I'm keeping it and I'll decide later?
There were actually a couple things. The first was the box of craft supplies that I had convinced myself I was going to make these crafts. I was going to do these arts and crafts one day, right? It's the someday pile that I'm going to do that someday. And one of the things that finally helped me let it go was a conversation, like one of those we really got to talk conversations. My husband and I had a come to Jesus moment where he was like, okay, if we take this to Kentucky, will you complete this project within 1 year? Or can you give it to someone who you know actually will? And so I was just like, okay, the man has a damn point. He always has a point.
Like, I hate when these people have points and they make sense and it's all logical.
Well, and it's funny because I refer to him as left brain LB because he definitely is the left brain of the relationship. I'm RB and not the sandwich, but RB as in right brain. So together we have a full brain. But yeah, just like having that conversation, putting it in that manner, I don't know, somehow that is what finally made me go, okay, I can give it to this lady who I know crafts all day. And so I did. I gave her all of my supplies. And it was also that moment of going, if I did want to replace it, it's going to cost less than $20. Like each item, together for project A or B, it could be like $20 for this project or $20 for that project. And so that's it led to another conversation of every single thing that we were considering getting rid of. If we can replace it for less than $20, let it go because there's not room in the truck, because that became a real thing towards the end is there's not room in the truck. And it's actually one of the things I'm grateful for is that we got a smaller truck than we could have. Because
you can get like a whole transport truck if you want it.
Yeah. Like we could have gotten the truck that was for multiple bedrooms, even though it was a 1-bedroom apartment, and could have taken everything with us. But then it was the matter of, okay, if we do that, how the heck are we going to fit it in the new apartment that we're moving to, which was slightly smaller? And it was just a lot of conversations that became, if we can replace it for less than $20, just do it. And I know that my privilege is showing, I apologize, but it was something that was, it's like that made it click of like, oh, okay, so I can let this go because I can replace it. It's not life or death. Although I will say one thing that was kind of funny is, how we all have those cords where we're like, we might need that cord one day. We got rid of a box of cords and then we moved up here and we needed a cord. It was just like, son of a bitch, we should have kept the cord. So that did happen, but we've since then gotten rid of the appliance that it went with. But anyway, just a little fun fact.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing. So, okay, to do with the cords, listeners, if you could let us know on social media, all those social media links will be down in the show notes and stuff. But let us know if you know somebody who has the ever growing box of cords or like batteries or this, like there are just things that, and then you're like, why do you have that? And then it's like, are you ever going to use it? And then the best part is, so my favorite one it was senior gentleman, because a lot of my local clients are senior and stuff like that. But, and I just said to him, I said, sir, they don't even make this anymore for where this cord goes to. So unless you're going to use it as like a wrap around someone's neck kind of thing, I was like, I think we can let it go. And he starts laughing. He's like, I don't even know what that cord was for, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, then why do we have it?
Well, and not only that, one of the fun products we found, I mean, we didn't buy it, but just knowing that we could was funny, is we found out that there is a cord adapter kit that like it has different circles for different appliances that you can snap on to the end of it. And so there's adapter kits. If for some reason you do let go of your freaking cord, you can still replace the cord.
I have one of those for actually my hand drill because it was the battery it's an older one. So I was like, well, they don't make these anymore. I'm like, but I bet you there's an adapter somewhere. So yep, I think it was like just over $10 or something like that. You got the adapter and you got like different, like you said, the different size circles. And I'm like, bingo, got it. And
who knew?
Yeah, like who knew? But that's the thing. Like it was one of those cords that, because I have moved multiple times in my lifetime. And so I know that each time it's like, you get to that point where you're like, what am I actually going to take with me? What do I want? And you have to not think about the just right now. You have to think about the future you. Like, what am I actually going to do? Like the crafting stuff, your husband made you think, are you actually going to do this within the year? So you had to think about, okay, well, what am I doing for the next year? Is the Ashley that, a year from now, is she going to have had that, craft finished? And then you went, shit, no, I'm probably not. Never mind.
And what's funny is now when I mention a craft that I want to do, this man is a genius. Okay. My husband is a freaking genius whenever it comes to logic and things making sense. If I tell him I want to do a craft, he'll say, okay, write down the supplies you need and then put it in the calendar of when you will have it done by. And if it's not done by that date, you either have to do it on that date or get rid of it. And it's like something that simple makes me go, okay, I'm not going to buy it because it's not going to happen.
Oh, this man is a genius, actually.
He really
have him on the podcast too.
You really should. Yeah. And the other thing that changed because of the move was how we started meal planning. And I mean, that's kind of like a longer conversation. I don't know how into it you want to go, but Reader's Digest version for that is we had a lot of food that was in our pantry and we didn't want to bring it to Kentucky, but we also didn't want to let it go. So we literally sat down and made a meal plan of everything that was in our pantry to figure out how we could cook it before we left so we didn't have to bring it with us. And that launched our current meal plan where we literally have every recipe written down that I know how to make, every single thing that we do for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, etc. It's all in a spreadsheet so that when we do our grocery list, we pick out 14 days worth of food. We don't lock it in to the point where we're like, okay, well, we have to have fish on Monday and, beef on Tuesday. But it became the system that we're working on of, all right, now we have all these recipes I know how to make. And so it eliminates the decision fatigue and we're saving money on groceries because every item we purchase has a place and a specific plan. Yeah.
That is genius.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how I can turn this into content because
that's fantastic.
Yes. Every person who has seen it is like, oh my God, I need that. But I'm like, I don't know how to make it not us coded because everything in there is what we eat and how we eat.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, pick the ones, exactly what you just said, like pick the meals you know how to make without having to think about it.
Yeah.
Like, and the ones you actually enjoy making. Because there's certain things where like, I am definitely, listen, I win the millions big. When I win the millions big, I am hiring a chef. That is my first thing because I don't enjoy cooking per se because I'm not really good at it. My uncles are fantastic cooks. Yeah. I swear to you, I don't know how it didn't pass down to, myself, but it's also that I think for me, it's that decision fatigue. So that spreadsheet, that whatever, like having to go to the grocery store, I hate grocery shopping too. So like having something like that and not having the mental capacity, like, to have to think about it. You're just like, nope, this is what we're getting. Boom, 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 boom.
Well, and we're working on perfecting it so that we can just click a button and it'll populate our grocery list. We're not there yet, but like each item on the list is linked to the recipe of exactly how I make it as well. So it's really intense, and it took a lot of work. I'm not going to deny it.
I guarantee you that did.
Oh yeah. And we're still, 5 years later, still perfecting it and working on it because like, there'll be a moment where I'm standing in the kitchen and we're discussing what we're going to do for our grocery list. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember I know how to make this too. And so then we go back and we add it in as another recipe I know how to make. And so it's just been kind of fun though, because the other thing we do now is when we choose these items of what I know how to make, we put them in a list and we move them down on the on the spreadsheet. So it's like, okay, we ate this, we ate this, we ate this. And so then we don't touch that meal again for like 6 months. And so, because we have about 6 months worth of food in the list of things I know how to make. And so now we are always excited about, oh my goodness, tonight we're having sausage and home fries, because we haven't had that in 6 months. Whenever before we had this system, we got burnt out on so many meals because we were eating the same shit every day.
Yep.
And now it's like, oh no, we're having something we haven't had in 6 months, so I can't wait to eat.
That's fantastic. And so my next question is, do you think that you would be as excited about creating this meal thing, whatever, had you brought all of the stuff, had your place been cluttered with all the old stuff, the old you, the old him versions of you guys? Like, would you guys be as excited about the meal planning and all that stuff had you not actually decluttered all your crap?
Hell no. No. Because, okay, if we had brought all that crap with us, it was very depressing. Like, I mean, having to keep up with all that crap, it's heavy in the sense that not only is it weighing on the fact that it's all in your space and you have no idea what the hell to do with it, but when you see it, it's just like, I think I'll just sit and watch Netflix because I don't even want to deal with that right now.
It emotionally drains you. It's like just, and you don't even actually have to consciously see it either. Like if the clutter is in, the kitchen, let's just say the kitchen, like you've got so many things on the counter, you're just like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do that. Oh, forget it. And then you go and sit down. You have no energy to actually do it. Whereas now you're probably like, oh, we've got all this counter space. We've got all this like empty space that we are okay with. Mm-hmm. And now we're excited. Okay, no. We don't have to clean up before we do to then clean up.
Yes. And it's interesting how, like, if we do get behind on the dishes now, it bothers us more than it ever did before. Yep. Because when you're used to having a space clear, it's like, what do you mean there's clutter now? Get it off. Like, make it go away.
But that's such a great thing because you're noticing the clutter. When you can't change something you don't have an awareness of. Mm-hmm. So when you have the awareness that, oh no, we have cleared counters, we have cleared whatever, like the sinks aren't usually like, no. And it feels off, but you're doing something about it. You have the motivation to do something about it.
Yeah.
That's the key is a lot of people. And that's where, when people start decluttering, they lose the motivation because it's so draining. It's because they now have the awareness that it's there.
Oh yeah. And I mourned my crap for a while. Like I mourned the loss of it. And I sometimes still, like, I catch myself still having the problem of hoarding mentality. I really do. I seriously still have an issue with it. And it's something that I'm fighting because I do recognize how much better I feel when all that crap isn't there. But I won't deny that there are some drawers that I still have stuff in that shouldn't be there. And I'm trying to recognize how much better I feel when things aren't like that. Like even right before we got on this podcast, I was ripping out notes from a notebook that I haven't looked at in a while. And it's like, I wasn't supposed to keep this crap anyway. I was either supposed to do something with it or take a picture.
And then, so what you're saying is you and I will work together on your digital clutter? No.
I'm actually working on that too. Like it's in my, I have an assignment queue where all my clients are in there, and I added myself as a client. And the reason I did that is so that I could put stuff in there that I know I need to take care of. So I actually have an assignment in there that I see every single day that says, take care of the digital crap too. And I know that if I don't put it in the calendar, it doesn't exist. If I don't put it in the assignment queue, it doesn't exist. And so that's like one big thing that has come out of this is that we literally, like, we live and die by our calendar. We did a digital calendar so that we could do it from our phones. We did a digital grocery list so that we can do it from our phones. Yep. Like everything is available on the computer and on our phones so that if we have an idea or we think of something, it has a place to live now. And what's really great about that is, one of the things that used to be an issue is we would say to ourselves or say to each other whenever we were driving around, like, oh, I want to eat at that restaurant someday. Or I want to go, to that attraction someday. That even has a place now in a spreadsheet, like things to do, activities we want to consider, restaurants we want to eat at. And so that way, if it comes to date night and we're like, what the heck are we going to do? We have a list to go to. or shows we want to watch. We have a list to go to. Like, we don't have to sit there going, I have no idea what to do. Well, we have a whole list to choose from. So there's no more like blank space of, I don't know, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
How about we open the
I
list?
don't know. And then you just end up at home cooking some random meal or whatever, et cetera, as opposed to having that experience, because that's what life's all about. It's about the experiences. So when we like stop that decision fatigue, or when we, set ourselves up for, success in the sense of, like you said, like, oh, every time we say, oh, as we drive by, we're writing it down. You know exactly where to go. You know exactly what to do when the time comes.
Yeah. And it's even helped in business too.
Yeah.
It's even helped in business too, because like when I get an idea, whether it's for a client or myself, it has a place to live now too. So like if I think of an idea for, famousashleygrant.com, I now know exactly where to stick it. I don't have to think about it and have it hanging over my head, because that was the big thing that was also a problem before we moved, was mental clutter. Like, I mean, there were so many things swimming around in my brain, and it's bad enough having ADHD, but then having it not have a place to live at the same time, it's like, it's been a massive game changer. It's helped save us on late fees. It's helped save us on, like, if you get a free trial, immediately, as soon as we get the free trial, we put in the calendar what day we need to cancel it by, because we didn't want to be buying all these subscriptions and paying for all this crap that we didn't need. Yep. So, I mean, I realize now just how much of a nerd I sound like.
But I love it though. But that's the thing. Like, I'm just like, I love this.
Your organization is tingling. Yeah. And it's so funny, because like, this was not how I was before. Like, and no wonder I was so lost and confused on so many things. And by making these changes, we've opened up, God, so many levels of amazingness. And we've had opportunities and things that we can do that we wouldn't have had if we were sitting there with all this clutter.
Yep. And not only that, but you didn't have this stuff until you allowed yourselves to let go of the old stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of listeners, and, I know myself, like I just literally said, like this past weekend, I'm like, I had to be in quiet and calm. And I'm like, and my body was uncomfortable, because I'm, like I was saying, the go, go, go. And I was like, no, I'm going to, like, my thing right now is I'm going to purposely do absolutely nothing, even if it is for only 10 minutes. I need to train my body to not be in the go, 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 because when you let go of the hustle, when you let go of the stuff, when you let go of all that stuff, you're allowing something else to come in, because things don't come in if you're still hanging on. So what would you say is the absolute, maybe there's a couple, but the absolute that comes to mind as I ask this question, absolute positive change since you moved, since you let go, since you went through all of the emotions, the mental stuff, whatever? What was the absolute change that you're like, oh my God, this wouldn't have happened had we not done that?
I mean, the biggest thing is probably how excited we are by food now. Which is so funny to say, but it's like, I mean, seriously, the what's for dinner question used to make me a crazy person. And I mean, it was so, because I mean, food is life, right? Yep. Food is life. And just being sad about not knowing what to eat, again, privilege showing, I'm aware, sorry. Yep. But like, just even something as simple as like, oh, well, I guess we'll just have, Cajun chicken pasta again. It's like, but I don't want Cajun chicken pasta.
Yep.
So like, we're excited by food again, and things don't feel so drab and monotonous, and like everything's exciting again, because we're not just going through the motions anymore. Everything has a plan. And so that's been the biggest change, is that like, it feels as though everything has a purpose. We're more intentional about every single thing we do than we ever were before.
That is fantastic.
And it's interesting how it's carried over into so much. Like, I mean, now I'm decluttering weight, for crying out loud. Like, I'm working out more than I ever have. And I don't think finally starting to focus on my health and fitness would have been possible if it hadn't been for us letting go of all this crap.
Yep. Okay. And that's the thing. Like, it's not even just like you were saying, the physical stuff. You were saying it's the physical weight and the emotional weight, because that's one of the things I know a lot of, especially females and stuff like that, and middle-aged women, once they're getting through the perimenopause and stuff like that, like that's one of the things myself and my friends were like, well, we got to really worry about this. But it's the emotional weight that we carry that turns into the physical weight. So when we can counteract both, life becomes exciting again. You start loving your body again. You start loving what it can do.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I'm working on it.
You are going to. I know that. And that's the thing. Like, I've, being on the social media and seeing your posts and stuff, just you being excited to do the exercises, being excited to do that. Like, it's huge because you're teaching your body it's okay that we're letting go of this physical, emotional, mental weight. And it's going to be so huge for you and your business, your married life, all that stuff, like just everything. It changes everything.
Yeah, it really does. And it's crazy to me to think of how much has changed in just 5 years. Like I don't even recognize who we were back then compared to who we are now, because I mean, even something as simple as I have an appointment today. I have it in the calendar, and it also has in the calendar, set aside this amount of time to get ready for this appointment, and set aside this amount of time to decompress from the appointment. And so the calendar, I'm telling you, I live and die by my calendar. Like everything is in there. Even nap time is in the calendar. If I need to nap.
Schedule it or forget it. That's what I usually say.
And like one of the things that whenever I started the fitness podcast is I was telling people I put in every single exercise that I plan to do in my calendar, because that's my appointment with myself, or it won't happen. Yeah. So and
you don't have to think about it. Like, when it comes, it's like, it's already there. You're not using your mental capacity and, going, oh, what do I feel like doing? Or what do I, and you know what? I really don't feel like doing anything. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to feel like actually going to the gym, or feel like cooking a healthy meal, or feel like decluttering.
Yeah.
But if it's in your calendar, if you know that appointment is for yourself, your family, etc., you're more likely to actually do it. And again, action outlasts motivation every freaking time.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, I even have calendar entries for don't forget to swap out your knee brace. And because like I have multiple of them so that I can make sure that they're always clean. And so I have an entry that says clean the knee brace and swap it out so that I don't have to worry about, is it in my bag? Because if I have to worry about whether or not it's in my bag, I'm going to freak out the whole time I'm at the gym.
Yeah, exactly. So you've learned to stop that decision fatigue, that overthinking, that whatever part. And I know you also probably worked with your ADHD, knowing like, I have to do this because otherwise I'm not going to remember to do this.
Or it'll end up in the refrigerator.
or it'll end up in the refrigerator for sure. Yes.
That's going to be a thing now. Is your umbrella in the refrigerator?
That's awesome. I'm going to put that as like in the show notes. Is your umbrella in the refrigerator? Yes.
You might have ADHD. Yeah. Here's your sign.
Here's your sign. So what I'd like to do is, we're coming near the end of the podcast and stuff. I always love to end my guest podcast with a finish I do with the mind, the body, the soul, and the home. Tips that people who are listening and stuff like that, they can take away, whether they do it today, this week, this weekend. What kind of tips do you have for each one of those pillars for the audience today?
Okay, what were them again?
The mind, the body, the soul, so spiritual side of it, their soul themselves, and then the home itself, so the physical environment, the etc.
Okay, so for mind, body, and soul, one thing I'll say is move your body more. I mean, that has become a big thing for me lately. I had no idea how starting to work out would change that. It has become my church. It has become my therapist. It has become my release. It has been like, I get some of my best ideas when I'm working out. So move your body more. Like, for God's sakes, Brandon, just go move your body more. That's just honestly the top priority. For all of it, though, mind, body, soul, and home itself, get rid of your shit. Like, let it go. There is stuff that is probably sitting right next to you right now that you can let go. You don't want to because you don't want to think about it. But think about how much better you're going to feel having space. Like, I mean, that's been a thing that I wouldn't have had this conversation with you 5 years ago. I would have just been like, she does a decluttering program. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not getting rid of my stuff. Why is she telling me to get rid of stuff? I don't want to get rid of stuff. No, but I had no idea just how much letting go of the things that I didn't know I needed, that I didn't know I didn't need. Let me say that better. I didn't know that I had a bunch of stuff I didn't need, and letting go of the stuff I didn't need would completely just alter the course of my business, my brain. Like, my brain chemistry's even changed a little bit, because I used to be the girl that whenever I'm sitting at the checkout trying to, like, how they make you walk through that spot where it has all the crap you are convinced you need.
Marketing 101 right there.
Such good marketing. And it used to get me. I'd be on my way to the register seeing all the shit I didn't need, and I thought I had to have that. What was that line from Fight Club? What coffee table defines me as a person? Like, just the one of my favorite quotes from that movie is, the stuff you own ends up owning you. And I quote that all the time, because when you let it go, oh my God, your mind improves, your body improves, your soul improves, your home feels better. It feels better to be at home. And so, you talk about tips for each of those 4 pillars. Get rid of your shit. That takes care of all of it.
Blanket. Get rid of your shit.
That is the best tip I can give you, is get rid of your shit and move your body more. And oh my God, your life will change in ways you didn't even expect or have in your mindset. Like some of the things that have happened since doing these things for myself, I never in a million years thought I was going to have a fitness podcast. If you had told me that before I moved here, I would have laughed at you. Like, what? I'm not a fitness person, but now I'm a contributor to the space because I have the space. Yep. You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's those kinds of things that really, this has been a good therapy session. Thanks, Heather. I appreciate it.
You are absolutely letting it go. And that's the thing. Even talking it out is also a way. And that's why I say, don't hold anything in. Like, the emotions. Like, I've taught, like, when my kids were younger and stuff like that, I taught them, like, if you have like this feeling of like anger or whatever, scream into a pillow. You still have to let that out. It's the same with talking.
It's so true. Because, like, my money mindset mentor, Denise Duffield Thomas, I'm obsessed with this woman. I have loved her for years. And she says, it's like farts. It's better out than in. That's one of my favorite quotes she says. It's just like,
that is
it's better out than in.
Well, listeners, on that note, I think that is the best way to end this podcast, because if you tag either one of us with that quote or whatever, we know you listened to the end. So thank you so much, Ashley. This has been a fantastic podcast, and I know we could do it again. We may have to do a catch up, in a few months or whatever, just because, again, these kind of conversations need to happen, and people listening need to hear that they aren't alone, because I think that's one of the biggest things that people think of when it comes to clutter and decluttering, that, oh, I'm the only one. Oh, only I have all this stuff. No, every one of us. I'm literally got a box full of stuff that we're letting go from this house, and we do this on a regular basis. So thank you so much, Ashley. This has been, oh my God, I love it. I love it. I'm so glad that we reached out to each other and said, yes, we're doing this podcast.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And if your listeners want to find me, they can go to famousashleygrant.com/declutter, and I will give you guys every bit of tips that I forgot to say while we were on this club.
Of course. See, this is what I'm saying. We might have to do like a volume 2 to this podcast.
Oh, so. I'm in. I'm so in. Let's make it happen. I'll put it in my calendar.
Perfect. There we go. All right. Thank you so much. And we will see you later.
Thank you.